Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. I have some websites for Chris Ann. At the back of the book here, in that gray box that has her picture, you can see at the bottom, chris-ann.com or themusetarot.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you want to. Supportive Oracle cards are Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. In the back of the book here, in that same paragraph with her picture, at the bottom of it, you can see the ColetteBaronReed.com website if you're interested. There's also a couple more below that of different websites. Feel free to check those out if you want to. Also, I saw this in there, so I figured I'd include it. About the illustrator, Jenna. There's the full name for Jenna, and if you want to freeze frame and read through that information, feel free. Also at the bottom here are a couple websites if you want to check those out. Okay. What do we have for Taurus? Slap. Why were we slapping that down? Alright, so I like the end. I like a lot of it here. It's actually not bad. None of it is really bad. No, none of it's bad. Why do I keep saying it like that, though? I'm like, yeah, none of it's bad. Like, this is a great card for you. This is the Ten of Pentacles. Talks about long-term assured success due to ability and planning. But the question is, are you going to get there? I like this deck. I really do enjoy this deck. One of the reasons I like it is because it has different ways of looking at things. And I keep looking at this Six of Fire, Six of Inspiration, the Success card. But I'm noticing the lady on there, the way she's holding her head, my first thought was like as if this is like a hard choice. Like, oh gosh, do I really want success? Like, oh, do I want things to really get better? And don't get caught up in the gender, but like, there's a change coming in. But the thing is, what's most difficult about this change is you're used to something. And when you're used to something, you tend to keep it. This could be the biggest challenge if this Capricorn, not Capricorn. I am feeling some Capricorn energy here, though. This is definitely a Taurus read. But it's kind of reminding me, well, you're both Earth signs, but this is definitely Taurus. If you don't want it, you won't take it. And I'm getting like, you might have like an ally that has some type of energy that it's very complementary to this, what you're already used to. And somebody else might be like, oh, come on, Taurus, you're not really going to change, are you? You might be dealing with a Capricorn. Like, let me just, what is the Capricorn element here? Because there is some type of Capricorn element. An ally. An ally that, like, will go with you, but you have to make the choice. All right, that makes sense for that. Because I'm like, why are we going to go on about that for a while? Because, like, this is Taurus, right? This is definitely Taurus. I know I'm going to get comments at the bottom like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. This is Taurus energy. The energy I'm getting is like, you do have an ally who may resist at first, but they're an ally. They feel the way you do. If you make the choice to change, they will change with you. They will go with you. They may resist at first, but I don't think you'd expect anything less. So that's kind of the ally I'm seeing that might go along with you on this. I feel like that's why they're pulling that energy in to explain, like, you know, if you make a choice, you can have different success. There's a difference between being used to something and keeping it versus wanting something better and making that choice and going towards a better version. It's kind of like, you know, if it's a house, the change might be to move, which is like, you may like the house because you're used to the house and maybe you put a bit of work into it, but maybe it's a smaller house. Maybe the house you have is only 3 bedroom and you're like, you know what? Maybe it's me and 1 kid, but if we had 5 bedrooms, maybe I could rent that space out, or maybe I'd have, you know, place to do. We could make it this type of workroom. We could have a guest room. We could have that. We have 3 rooms, and having 1 extra room, it seems like we don't have enough space. It'd be nice to have, you know, the 3 extra rooms. That way I could have an extra room for what I wanted to do. The kid I have could have an extra room for a playroom to have people over, and then we could have the guest room too. And if you can afford it, then you can afford it. But you're like, it would be practical for this reason or that reason because we have people coming over all the time. I need a work space to do what I want, so having an office space beyond my bedroom would be very helpful and very beneficial. It is kind of like, but I'm used to what we have, and that might be another piece of the success. You might be also asking yourself, is that something I need? It may be for your mental health. I feel like I've seen this with other earth sign people. They thought of something as a luxury until they experienced it, and then they realized their mental health benefited greatly by these changes. So like if I'm going to use the house analogy again, you're like, well, there's only 2 of us and we have a 3-bedroom house. Why would I really need another couple? I mean, I could use another couple rooms, but do I really need it? And then when you transition, if you allow yourself to transition over, you're like seeing how much emotionally you feel better and how much you're able to utilize those things to the fullest. You're like, you know what, I really did need that. I just didn't allow myself to believe it. Maybe something like that you got to get across here on this, just to be fair. Because whatever it is, you do want it. It's going to take some effort to make it happen, but you might be telling yourself, but do I really need it? Ironically, whatever this is, I think actually maybe you do. It may be just like that argument in your head where maybe you're not allowing yourself to see it that way. Sorry, cat hair floating around here. The opportunity is here for a reason. It's meant for you to have it. It also feels like if I let myself go down this road, I don't think it's happening in 5 seconds, but it feels like it's happening very fast. Once you choose it, it feels like it to you that it's going fast. Other people may be like, no, Taurus, that's not really that fast. But to you, it's going to feel like it is. But there's also the Ace of Cups here. You can make this happen. This is something that's great for you. Whatever this is, it is great for you. You're the 3rd Earth sign I've done today. I did Virgo and Capricorn just before yours. And it seems like all 3 of you, it's like you're at this choice moment. You can let this pass by. This is not guaranteed it's just going to happen whether you like it or not. Nope, definitely not. If you choose it, you can have what you want. It's allowing yourself to have it. Allowing yourself to have this happiness. I feel like this is a mom thing. Could be a dad thing too, so I don't want to like just pigeonhole it to one, but like a parent thing. Let's do that. That's probably the better way to say it. Where even though you might have extra and you might have something you want to do and it's not going to take away from anybody else for you to have it, you'll rewrite the story as in, well, I shouldn't have that because what if I need that for, what if my child needs that later? What if I need to have this money for them? Or what if there's, maybe I should keep that time open just in case they need me. Do this for you. Do this for you. I've said this to other people. I don't know if it always hits right, but it's kind of like you're more advantageous, you have more energy, you have more ability when you do for yourself. It strengthens your own energy. It livens up your energy more. When you satisfy yourself, it makes it easier to satisfy others' needs. So I've seen this with people, like, how do I explain this? It's like somebody who, like, they do the wash, they do the dinners, they take the kids here and there, and I've seen both genders do that, so I don't think that's held to one gender. And then they feel like, well, I don't have enough time in the day to do that. I'd have to rearrange things. You know, I couldn't, for example, I couldn't take the kids to school if I was going to do a yoga class in the morning. Meanwhile, if they move their schedule around and they find somebody else to take the kids to school and they do that yoga class, they find out they have so much more energy because they're so much more happier, they're more successful in their job, and when they are dealing with their children, their energy is so much more lifted and they have so much more to give that they end up doing more than they originally were. They just didn't realize that was going to happen. It wasn't even expected, but by lifting their energy, doing something for them, refilling their own happiness, it gave them much more energy to do other things, and they became much more productive and much happier. Being happier is a key piece to that. So maybe that's something to add in there. Your happiness has more value than you realize. People who are happier, in my opinion, tend to be more productive and tend to have more come to them in life. It's one of those things where happier people seem to be a lot busier, but tend to get they don't feel like they're busier if they're happy. Does that make sense? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Whatever this is, you have the choice, clearly. Don't you in everything, though. whatever this is, I also feel like you'll probably share it with other people. Even if it's just informational, there's something about this you will share with other people. So it's not just like a selfish gift, but I almost feel like, I keep feeling this Taurus energy, like you're looking at it like it's very selfish of me to take this. It's very selfish of me to have this. It's not. I keep getting that it's really not. You're going to make use of this. It's not selfish, especially when you take it and then you share it with others, because you probably will anyway. Taurus seems to look out for a lot of people, in my opinion. Looking at it that way, if you take on this extra, you get something for you and you have more than enough, you will share it. I just feel like that's Taurus. I could be wrong. You can tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong, obviously. That's how I kind of take Taurus. You have more than enough. When Taurus is in balance, you got a good point there. I could just feel that in the back rows, like, well, when it's in balance, yes. Couldn't we say that for all signs, though? When they're in balance, they're at their optimum. It's allowing yourself to go through the door. It's feeling self-conscious about it, but allowing yourself to go through the door. A lot of opportunities around you come from this. Whatever this is, it's going to create new opportunities. You have to have what you want first to share with others. You're going to create more possibilities for not just yourself, but for other people. It's not selfish. I just feel like I have to argue that constantly. I don't know why. It's not selfish, and there's much more coming out. If it's like a new home, by the way, if we're going to go down that road again, with a new home comes a new neighborhood, typically, most times I'd say. New connections, new opportunities, new people around you. Might be more, it might not only liven up for you, but it might change the situation for somebody else, that they need somebody like you around, or maybe you're going to bring somebody with you into this neighborhood that is going to be very beneficial for that neighborhood. You can't be passive about this. I thought I mentioned that, but it's coming in again. The first step is allowing yourself to consider it seriously. I actually feel like if you stop, it's like, because it feels like whatever this is kind of just floating around and just kind of coming in and then leaving. It's like the thought is coming in and then leaving, and then it's coming in and then it's leaving. You got to grab that thought and seriously consider it. That's your first step, because I feel like once you seriously consider it, you like really like sit down, and maybe there's something you want to research. I mean, we have online resources nowadays. There's things you can research, especially if we're going to use the house analogy. You just look and see what's out there. That might kind of trigger the need, and you'll start moving forward. But it's like you have to stop and seriously consider it. If you don't, it's gonna pass you on by. This is something you can have, but you have to actively grab it. I think that's another piece of this reading, and maybe I've been missing it. Is like you could miss this. And it's basically because the thought comes in and then it passes through. It's not going to smack you in the face. You know what I mean? A lot of things in life, I feel like that happens to Taurus. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Things change when it smacks you in the face and you're like, I guess I have to deal with it now. This is not going to smack you in the face. You got to grab it. It's a great thing. There's a whole new awakening. There's a whole new point to advantage here. But you have to get through that block, and you have to grab it. Ironically, letting the thought come in and just leave without, just letting it teeter in and totter out, that is a form of a block, because you're not grabbing it. You have to grab it or you're going to miss it. The Five of Pentacles, yeah. You're the one leaving yourself on the outside on this. If you want this, if this sounds good, allow yourself to grab the thought, seriously consider it. Especially with Taurus, if you seriously consider it, you'll find the angle you need to realize that this is a good thing for you. You will find the truth. You'll find where, you know what, that actually could be great. And you'll start getting, thirsty for it. You'll get excited for it, and you'll start making it happen. It will seem like it happens pretty quick to you. I will go back to that because I do feel that again. But again, it is success. I feel like, again, you're going to have arguments with other people. They're like, Taurus, this isn't going that fast. And you're going to be like, well, yes, it is. Don't worry about those arguments. You don't have to entertain those arguments. Just realize, to you it's fast, that's fine. It doesn't matter how other people feel about it. But again, grab that success, make it happen. Don't let it just fade in and fade out. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.